Joy Society, it is Coach Royal, and I am so excited to be back with another YouTube video. It has been so long, but you know, I've just been praying about direction and clarity on which way I want to take the content for YouTube and for my business and all of this stuff. So I've been completely caught up with my business and restructuring some things, but I'm just so excited to be back with a new YouTube video in the new year of 2021. So I'm super excited to be here, and we're gonna go ahead and dive right in. Most of you who know me know I am Coach Royal, also known as Shanice Royal. I am a spiritual teacher, certified life coach, and I push women into a place of power and purpose. God has put it on my heart most recently to help the go-to girls understand and discover the wealth in their wisdom, that there is wealth in your wisdom. And we are going to be embarking on a brand new journey, and I am going to be teaching you, my go-to girls, my girls that are just naturally advice givers. You naturally have wisdom beyond your years, and I'm going to help you understand and help you see the value in that wisdom and understand that there is wealth in your wisdom. So I'm a life coach, and I always get the question of, how do I become a life coach? How did you become a life coach? How do I get started? How do I start building my coaching business? And I think the one thing, the one tool that I want to give you today is, first of all, you gotta believe that you are able. You have to believe that your wisdom is valuable, that your experience is valuable. And then you must also understand that coaching is not necessarily a regulated field by the government. So it doesn't necessarily require for you to have a degree. You just must have a heart to serve people and a heart to see people be better. Unlike a therapist or psychologist or something like that, you don't have to go through years of extensive schooling, which is so crazy that God brought coaching to me, because originally right out of high school I started going to school for psychology because I had a heart to serve women. I had a heart to counsel women. I had a heart to push women into their purpose and encourage other people. I just had a heart to encourage people, and I originally started going to school for psychology. And listen, it's just not for me, okay? It just wasn't for me, and God just literally brought my life full circle and ended up bringing coaching to me. And I've been able to coach hundreds of women. Like, it's just so crazy how God brought this to me, and I'll share my testimony of how I got here maybe in another video. But I want to give you some tips on how you can actually become a life coach. The first thing that you need to know is that coaching is not a regulated field. It does not require for you to go to 4, 5, 10 years of college to do so. Certification isn't necessarily required, but it is recommended. So you can become a coach both with and without certification. I personally suggest being trained, or going through some sort of training and getting certified, just so that you have the experience, the do's and the don'ts, and certain things like that. Because for me, there's certain boundaries. As a coach, my job is to help you find the solution. I am very solution driven. I don't want to drag your issues out. We're gonna get to the root of it, and we are going to find a solution, a way to dismantle whatever that is, and we're gonna find a solution and a way to push forward. That is my job, to encourage you, to empower you, to allow you to see things in a different perspective. But as a coach, you basically can be a coach whether you have a degree or not. It's not necessarily, there's no degree required. But the first thing is believing that your wisdom is valuable, that there is wealth in your wisdom, that what you bring to the table is needed, and that somebody needs your story, somebody needs what you have. Another thing is finding your niche. A lot of people don't know, well, if I coach, what am I coaching about? You don't have to serve everybody, but you must understand that God has called you to somebody, and figuring out who that somebody is will make niching down so much easier for you, because finding your niche and really niching down on what it is and the people that it is that God has called you to is so important when you're building your business, because you are targeting specific people. So when you understand what your niche is, the tip to understanding what your niche is understanding what your story is, knowing who God has actually called you to. Who has he called you to speak to? Who has he called you to? And the best way to understand that is understanding your story. What is your story? What have you personally overcome? What have you personally been through? And build your coaching business around that. Show other people how to overcome depression, anxiety, and anxiety. Show other people how to overcome being a first-time mother. Maybe you coach first-time mothers through their journey of being first-time mothers. Whatever it is that you had to do. Maybe you're a health and fitness coach for moms. But whatever it is that God has allowed you to overcome and allow you to experience, that could very well be exactly where your niche is, and you can begin to teach, coach, and empower other people within that same realm, if that makes sense. So a lot of people, just don't know where to start, and don't actually, I think the main thing is the belief factor. Really believing in yourself, really believing that you can actually be paid for your wisdom, that you can actually receive wealth and generate income for your wisdom. And it's not so much about the money. It's really, you really have to have a heart to serve, because that's what you're doing every day. And if you're just doing it for the money, and if all you're doing it is for the money, you're going to get burnt out, and you're not going to give people the experience that they truly deserve, because you're really in it for the money, right? So you have to be in it to serve, and really have a heart to serve people, and to make people, see themselves the way that God sees them, to really see the value and who they are, really help them to build their confidence. Really, I've taken people from ground zero in their confidence, and really given them the confidence to launch their businesses, really giving them the confidence to see the value in themselves and in their wisdom. Why? Because I have a heart to serve, and I genuinely and truly want to see people become the best version of themselves. Just starting with that passion of wanting to see people be better in whatever aspect or whatever avenue that is for you, but really having a passion to see people grow and see results from people's lives. That's the greatest starting place, and just starting with knowing that I have the passion to serve God's people. I have a passion to serve people, and when you start with that passion, and then you go to your experience, and the things that God has allowed me to experience, it's not by chance. And understanding that there's value in your experience, there's value in your story, there's value in what God has allowed you to overcome. If you really understand that there is value in that, you will also believe that you can actually be a coach and actually receive wealth in your wisdom. There is wealth in you understanding the value of your testimony and your story, and just the value of your voice and what you bring to the table. I always talk to the go-to girls, because that's who God has called me to. But if you are a go-to girl, if you just naturally have wisdom beyond your years, if you just naturally have this thing in you where everybody just is drawn to you, and everybody is drawn to you for your wisdom, your insight, your advice. They're just drawn to you for your wisdom, and you just don't know why. It may be because you're called to be a coach. You may be called to be a coach and don't even know it. But the first place to start is to believe that your wisdom is actually valuable, that your advice is actually valuable, and people will actually pay for you to give them sound wisdom, sound direction, sound information, sound steps and tools and resources that they need to progress their lives forward. You have the power and the ability to do it. It's just a matter of you believing in yourself. So the first thing that we want to start with is our passion to serve, our passion to see people be better, our passion to see people progress in their lives. And then you want to start believing in and valuing your story and your experience. Value the experience that God has allowed you to go through, the things that he's allowed you to overcome. Value your experience and understand that there is wealth in that experience. There is power in that experience. There is breakthrough for other people in that experience, and begin to embrace your experience and find the value in that. And the next thing is to believe in you. Believe in your wisdom. Believe in your voice. Believe in your own power. Believe in yourself, that you actually deserve to be paid for all the advice you give, for all the wisdom you give, for the insight that you give, for the tools that you give, the things that God has allowed you to implement in your life to overcome in certain situations. You deserve to get paid for it. You deserve it. You deserve it. And people will actually pour into you because you have spent your passion, your time, and your experience pouring into them. So the more that you pour into people and you have a heart and a passion to serve other people, the money will come. So this is why I say in coaching, we don't make it about the money, because the money comes. But do you really have a passion to serve God's people? Do you really have a passion to serve other people? And I believe that once you believe in yourself and you start seeing the value in what you carry, becoming a coach is second nature. You're probably already coaching and don't even know it, right? You just haven't put a title on it. But coaching is not a regulated field. I personally suggest getting certification, which I will actually be launching my deep dive coaching for coaches certification program, which basically walks you through the necessary training to become a confident, thriving coach and discovering the wealth in your wisdom. I will actually be launching that program this year in 2021. So to join the waitlist for the certification program, make sure you click the link below and register get on the wait list to register for the program once it launches. I have been getting so many questions about the certification program, and I'm super excited about launching it this year. So make sure you join the wait list, as we will be getting ready to launch this program. But with that being said, remember, coaching is not a regulated field. It does not require for you to go to college or anything. For that, I suggest getting necessary training and tools and resources that you need to become the most effective and confident coach that you can be, and to get your certification. But it's absolutely not required. It's not required, but believe in you, believe in your wisdom, and understand that there is wealth. There is wealth in your wisdom, and there is value in your story. If you have any other topics, any other questions on coaching, building a coaching business, or anything about coaching, about your confidence as a coach, how I got started, maybe in the next couple videos or next video, I will tell you all my personal story of how God brought coaching to me. Again, my coaching is faith-based coaching as well. So I can give you all the insight or anything about that. But what do you think my next video should be? What do you think we should talk about next? Drop your feedback, topics, or questions below, and I'll be on the lookout for what do you guys want to see next. Have a blessed day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see y'all soon.